voting in the best. When we reach my goal, my Edmund Hinkson be president. Let me go, let me go. Edmund Hinkson be voting in the best. Oh yes, place your X. We voting Edmund Hinkson, yes. Oh yes, place your X. We ready for the election, yes. Oh yes, place your X. We voting Edmund Hinkson, yes. Oh yes.
Good night. The people of Upper Weston, Upper Mount Standfast, Weston, the wider St. James North community, other residents of Barbados. I thank you all for coming out. I thank all the speakers here tonight, from Kevon to my daughter Erica, for all the kind words that have been said about me. And in fact, really and truly, I don't have to say much more about myself. Really and truly, all has been said already. But, you know, it is not by happen chance that we have started our campaign for the 2018 election in this part of the constituency. This part of the constituency is extremely dear to me. I mean, everyone here, you know by first name. I'm sure that people like Sharon and the Bowens and all the Thompsons will tell you that a week doesn't pass unless you see my vehicle S3154 drive through here. I mean, Sharon and I, very close. She does all the catering for us at branch level. I mean, you have Jeffrey Lovell down the road, Kuja, me, my carpenter. I mean, Sharon Watkins, who I have no doubt is listening from her bed across the road. I mean, very dear to me. And everyone else, Maria. And, you know, the thing about this community, this district here, is that virtually everybody family to one another. The community is one, together, in spirit, in blood. It is because of this district here that we won the box, SC1, on the last occasion. And we won it by a reasonable margin, and we had lost it, in fact, the last time Rawl won, and ran and won. And we won because this district predominantly voted for the Barbados Labour Party and for myself. For that, of course, too, I have to thank Jeff Thompson, my canvassing manager again, who related to, as I said, virtually everybody in this district. And, you know, but for him and Tattoo down the road, part of this district too, I would not be standing here, because I would not have secured the nomination in the first place in 2012 to be the candidate. You all will recall, of course, that nomination was one of probably the bitterest nomination ever in the political history of Barbados. So I'm indebted to those of you and Tattoo and Jeff for my presence here tonight. But that is fate. I also, of course, have to thank the branch for assisting in every way it has. The president is here, Diana Ford, and other members of the branch are here. Hendy, I see out here as well, for instance, and Cecil. Who that? Right, Alicia there? All right, Alicia. And Christina, her sister. All them part of this support system. And then, of course, as you have heard from every speaker, the Clarkson Foundation Inc., well supported here tonight. I thank you all immensely. Faye, the chairperson tonight, a member. Karen is here, my campaign manager. Hartford Howell, who has been of immeasurable support so far to me as campaign manager, taken a lot off of me, and who no doubt will continue to be. Marianne is here as well, also a branch member. And this is part of the team, Eddie, that, you know, a member of parliament, a candidate is always happy to have in support, because no politician can do it alone. You know, there's some people who, like in 1999 when the BLP won 26 to 1 or 2 MPs told me how they went big, and when I told them, and you know, I mean, they came in on a tide, a big tide, and they seemed surprised about that. But when the tide went back out, they went back out too in 2008. No member of parliament or no candidate does it on his own, and I'm totally thankful to you all. Erica has spoken a lot about why I'm into politics, and as she said, I've always had the urge to give back. So from the time I was a teenage people, and you never do anything for anybody at community level yet. So you've heard of all that I did leading up to my entry into elective politics, and all of that prepared me for this. I mean, Diana, for instance, is a Lion Fair, about to become president of a Lions Club, my Lions Club, which I brought her into, in fact, and which I feel so proud of, that of what I did in that regard. She's about to become president of my club in a couple months' time. I mean, my quarter century in Lions, all of that helped prepare for this in terms of organizational ability and teamwork, which you have to do. And, you know, politics has just been a culmination of it. And you have to have a passion for it. You have to have a passion to serve people and to help people. And that is what I believe I have. Because as you've heard from the speakers, you don't just up and call 20, 25 people on the birthday day because you have time. You do it because you want to show that you care. It is not only about calling and wishing birthdays. When I do that, as you know, I ask them about your family, how you're getting through. If you're still working, I find out obviously about those who had to drop out of university because of the criminal imposition of tuition fees by this government after 50 years of state-funded tuition fees at the University of the West Indies, which allowed working class people, black people from working class backgrounds like Jeff Thompson to be able to achieve a university education, which if he had to pay the $8,000 now that the DLP government so cruelly imposed on you, he probably would not have been able to achieve. But that is the kind of Democratic Labour Party that we've had. A party that doesn't care about you. The last 10 years under Thompson and Stewart doesn't care about you, your grandmother, your child, or your great aunt. Take that from me. When 3 government ministers separately could tell me that they're not doing anything for the people of St. James North because they don't vote for them. When the people of St. James North, like the people in any Democratic Labour Party held constituency, pay the same income tax, pay back at 17.5%, increase from 15%, after the 17.5% was to only stay for 18 months. When the people of St. James North have to pay a 2% on foreign exchange transactions. When the people of St. James North have to pay a 10% on NSRL, which the Barbados Labour Party has pledged to remove, because all economic theory is that less taxation is better for a country. It frees up more money in the economy. People have more money to spend when you tax them less. So the philosophy of the Minister of Finance, of the Prime Minister of the Democratic Labour Party cabinet, that you must pay 45 cents of your income in some form of taxation is wrong, fundamentally wrong, and one of the reasons why Barbados has found itself in this position. 40 new or increase in taxes imposed by this government in 10 years. From the time they came into office, 3 months after, under Thompson, an imposition of a bicycle tax, increase in professional fees. Shopkeepers like Fair Lucas had to pay 3 times, 300% increase in shopkeeper fees. All the professions and about 60 other 70, in fact, other professions, hairdressers, and not only lawyers and the big ups, so-called big ups, hairdressers, mechanics, all of those having to pay 3 times what they were paying before to be able to earn $1 when the end of the month comes. We know about increasing land taxes, and then one municipal solid waste tax, a second land tax. One of the most iniquitous taxes, if not the most ever imposed on the people of Barbados since adult suffrage and black people had the vote. And that is what the Democratic Labour Party has done. As Jeff said, this is nothing to do with international recession that the DLP has continuously blamed or partly blamed the state of Barbados for. It's the total economic mismanagement and the mismanagement of this society by a people who don't care about you, who are incompetent and who are corrupt. And corruption is one of the major issues in this country. And one of the first acts of parliament, as Mayor Motley has said, that we will do, if you, the people of Barbados, are so kind next month as to elect us as the government of this country, will be to legislate, and not only legislate, to establish and implement prevention of corruption legislation and integrity in public life legislation. Because the DLP government, of course, passed prevention of corruption legislation through Parliament in December 2012 and haven't found it fit yet to implement it. And they know why. They know why. Because when you could get 2 government ministers, for example, driving about luxury vehicles, $400,000 in value, given to them by a major contractor in their respective ministries, and then that contractor getting contracts from them that ought to be 1/3 or even less of what they are worth, being paid, for example, $1 million when in all rights the contract should only be worth $400,000. You, the people of St. James North and wider Barbados, paying that $600,000. But that has been done because the minister's driving about the vehicle and the contractor got to get back the money somehow. And so you're paying for that. That is as simple as it is. And therefore, Barbados has declined on the perception of corruption index, global perception, from where it was at 15 in 2013 to now 32 in 2017. Just like how we have declined in terms of ease of doing business from 72 in 2010 to 139 out of 160 countries in 2016-2017. This Democratic Labour Party is by far the worst government ever in the history of Barbados, bar none, since adult suffrage, and needs to be pelted out of office whenever the Prime Minister calls elections, because he has to call it. No matter how much he delays, it has to be called so he could hide. But night will run till they catch it. And I know that the people of St. James North will do what is right. Give the Barbados Labour Party another opportunity, because you have been faithful to this party for the last 70 years, except for one occasion in 1986. And I hope to try. Certainly I will try, and I hope I will continue to justify your confidence in me that you showed 5 years ago. We have, of course, tremendous plans for this constituency over the next 5 years. And of course, we will be writing you, everybody will receive a letter about the plans that we have for this constituency over the next 5 years. We will, for example, one of the first, certainly, capital works programs which I will ensure that the Barbados Labour Party implements is the repair of these roads. Jeff spoke about it from first-hand experience. These roads started to be repaired just before the 2008 election under the Barbados Labour Party government. For 10 years, the Democratic Labour Party has not found it fit to repair these roads, and they've got worse and worse. You gotta decide which pothole you're gonna go into. And not only this road, but roads all about this constituency. And one of the first things I did when I became Member of Parliament, exactly 50 days after I became a Member of Parliament in April 2013, I wrote the Minister of Public Works asking for the repair of 15 roads in this constituency. And most of those roads, in fact, were in the DLP traditional stronghold of Aston Hall, which is turning against the Democratic Labour Party, because that was the first place 3 weeks ago that the person who I hear running against me went. He said he decided to go first time in 5 years that he showed his face canvassing in this constituency since he was with last election, went in Aston Hall, the traditional stronghold, and the fellas up there asking what he doing here, that they ain't seen him for 5 years, he can't be serious coming out here asking for a vote. Most of the roads out in Aston Hall bar, the Dens won't even repair it in their traditional stronghold because they say that St. James North as a whole voting BLP, so they're not doing anything for St. James North. You know that we will implement a constituency-wide training program focusing on job creation, because of course this is a perennial problem among young people, that a lot of young people don't have hope in the system, in the country, especially with the imposition of tuition fees at University of the West Indies and no substitute, no alternative for the students for a long time and unreasonable delay to get loans, to get scholarships, to get grants. Just cutting off the chicken on its head by the Democratic Labour Party. We will look to provide loans and planning assistance to young entrepreneurs to assist them in starting up businesses, because this is important. We know that government can't employ everybody, and it is important that we allow young people, give them the technical and financial skills from early o'clock to start their own businesses. We need to address the challenges of the Zone 1 problem in a large part of this constituency, where people, even if they have houses, can't get water installation or indoor toilet facilities. That has to be solved. In this day and age, 2018, we have to have the technical expertise available to solve such a problem, that the water, the purity and integrity of the water system is not compromised by the building and a placement of water, indoor water facilities in homes that are in a Zone 1 program. We have to create a program focusing on the reduction of youth illiteracy in Barbados. Because, you know, we Barbadians like to fool ourselves about how we have a 98% literacy rate in Barbados, and that is not true. We know, those of us who operate at community level, that a lot of young people still have problems in terms of literacy and reading. Clearly, as you've heard from all the speakers, I will certainly seek to improve the quality of life of persons with disabilities by providing them with greater educational, training and employment opportunities. And look, even the Democratic Labour Party recognizes that, certainly at the political level, I am the main spokesman for persons with disabilities in Barbados. I mean, the Minister of Public Works, in laying the road traffic amendment in Parliament in November, said so. So I don't have to come there and debate. Nobody has to debate that issue. And you've heard, of course, the genesis of that, in that my sister, born, of whom I was still am extremely close to was born deaf. We need, of course, to look after senior citizens as well mentally and keep them occupied, create programs for them to keep them together with a growing rate of Alzheimer's disease in this country. And of course, I know that firsthand because my father had that in the last 6 years of his life. We need to alleviate the adverse effects of flooding in various parts of this constituency. We know that after 10 minutes of heavy rainfall, about 3/4 of St. James North is flooded out. And you know, the International Bank of the Americas, IADB, gave money to the Barbados government in terms of climate change, and I was told by the Minister of Drainage that some of that would go into fixing the drainage problem in Trent and in other parts of the constituency. And of course, that was a lie. We need to, of course, establish a sports facility to accommodate constituents on the coast. The bus service, Roslyn, for example, is here. Of course, Roslyn. I pass through, of course, for Roslyn too, sometimes works at us. Roslyn and many others know about the poor bus service in this area, in Greenwich Village, in Aston, in the Women. And if you don't buy any buses after 10 years, you only have 70 buses less than that serving the whole country. You must have a bus service problem. You can imagine that a government that has collected $25 billion in taxes, more than any other government in the history of Barbados, could not find it fit to buy one bus. But as Jeff said, employing a Trinidadian at $22,000 a month, plus entertainment, travel back to Trinidad every month, housing, etc. And we're talking about the Democratic Labour Party want them to be re-elected again. To do what? We are near the brink of disaster in this country economically. If the Democratic Labour Party is re-elected, we will fall through and become a banana republic. As you heard tonight from Jeff, as all y'all would have heard in the last couple months, even Russia, a dictatorship, one party state, effectively laughing at Barbados right now. We have now become the mock sport not only of the Caribbean but of the whole world. We need to establish a children's recreational facility in Weston, and Faye, of course, knows about that. We have been, like in many other areas, sports in the way by National Housing Corporation. But of course, if we become the government, clearly, with me in a position, I will be a minister. I would not know what ministry, but I know I'll be a minister. I will certainly see that we get that done. We need to implement a house repairs program, certainly at national level, particularly for the elderly and the disabled, facilitated by government agencies and the private sector in association with each other. I've written so many letters to the government departments, whether to the Rural Development Corporation or the Ministry of Social Welfare, asking for repairs to houses for the elderly and old people. Not one piece of wood or nail attached applied in this constituency pursuant to that request. We need to have the Barbados Labour Party in office for St. James North to develop further. You know of the achievements that the Barbados Labour Party managed to make under the last administration of Owen Arthur, when Rawle was Member of Parliament for 23 successive years, 5 elections, due to your good grace. We can have this again in this constituency. You know about, in this area, how the Democratic Labour Party callously and disrespectfully closed the Western Fire Station. And it isn't even that you didn't know, I didn't know neither. Because I was hearing the rumor for about 6 months, and one Saturday morning, Faye would tell you, because I went cross by her after, I said, let me go in and ask the firemen. They told me, mistake, son. Don't tell nobody we told you. But we've been told to get ready and pack up with stuff. We moving in 10 days time to Arch Hall out here closing down. Not even telling the Member of Parliament, the Minister of Home Affairs. That is the disrespect that the Democratic Labour Party has not only for the people of St. James North, because I ain't worried about that. I can handle them in Parliament. I don't mind that, the disrespect for me. You all know that I toe-to-toe with them and get the better of them most of the time too. But the disrespect that they have for the people who put them in office, most of them failed business people. Some of them could not write a proper check. In 2007, checks bouncing all over the place. Now multi-millionaires fat off the hog, driving luxury vehicles. But still, some of them with judgments against them. We know that from the speaker who ran in this constituency, you all know him. Last could have barely got 1,000 votes in 1999. Judgment against him. $200,000 plus for withholding money from a disabled old man and still in a speaker's chair. You think that if I were Prime Minister of Barbados, he could still be sitting down presiding over Parliament, occupying the number 9 position in the table of President? No way. Leave the chair. Another one. Minister of Social Welfare, I disclosed it in Parliament. $107,000 judgment entered against him in January 2013 when he was a minister. In countries that have properly run democracies and observing proper forms of governance, he would have to resign. But not one word known. But that is the Democratic Labour Party. I don't know who they're running up here because they can't be running the person who ran last time because he completely ignored you for 5 years. Ignored you. Alright? Didn't canvass any area. But every month at one stage I was hearing about a different person running against me. So the pickup must be the person who ran last time and force him to run. I don't know. We will see on nomination day. But I know that when he comes, if he comes, Jeff said he can't bench out here. And I take Jeff's word for that. That y'all would ask, what you doing here? But you and your party can't disrespect us like this. You didn't come and tell us that Western Fire Station was closing. You should have come and hold a town hall meeting and tell us that. And get our views on that. Not treat us this way. You all know about the water connections in this area, further down by where Tudor is and Ms. Hinkson. Of course, I would have written in terms of getting that water connection to the water authority. They would have told you about the water connection further up the road where the only one person was connected, and we wrote asking for everybody because you can't connect one and not the other 5 households that live there. But this is the Westmoreland roundabout up the road where the Minister of Public Works came to a town hall meeting finally after 3 or 4 people died. And I said that they will only after the 3rd person died. He came whole town hall meeting at the Nazarene Church. Didn't commit himself, that is true, but said he would get back to the people. Of course, I could have told the people at that town hall meeting that no roundabout will be done. Or no traffic lights will be done, you know, because he came to me then a couple of weeks after, Eddie boy, it can cost $200,000 to do a roundabout. I didn't even say a word because I know that was just political gimmickry when he came to that town hall meeting. But we have a manifesto full of pledges, and you know the Barbados Labour Party's manifesto is its pledge that at the end of any 5-year term we give promises and performance, and you will see that 90% of the pledges we make in a manifesto have been fulfilled after 5 years. Not like the Democratic Labour Party that tells you they need 20 years to fulfill a manifesto promise from 2008. We will pay the reverse tax credit of $1,300 of a party that hasn't paid it in 3 years. We will remove, as I said, the NSRL and eventually reduce the VAT from 17.5% back to 15%. We feel that you should have a minimum wage for shop assistants, domestic workers, security guards, gas station attendants. There must be a minimum wage under which they must not be paid. We will eliminate pit starlets, all pit starlets in Barbados by having a capital works program in this country. All of that we will have. We feel that young people must be given the tools to become global citizens, that they must be able to speak a second language, they must be able to swim, they must be involved in extracurricular activities from primary school, whether it's music, art, sports, to develop their character and their teamwork. We will involve you with people's assemblies on a regular basis, because those 30 people in a parliament can govern a country. We need you to help us govern. As I said, we will ease the ability to do business. And we will, of course, remove the tuition fees on University of the West Indies students. Look, we will have about 15 spot meetings, or 14 spot meetings. I believe the party will give one national meeting. We'll probably hold that in Sign Hill. We certainly, over the period of time, will expand on what we plan to do as a government. If we are given the opportunity next month, as I certainly hope we will be, by you and by your family and friends in Barbados. I look forward with passion and with tremendous hope and delight to being part of a government of this country to help change your lives, your family's lives, the lives of the people of Barbados under the leadership and prime ministership of Mia Amo Motley, who no one has come to you to become prime minister of Barbados with more experience, with more learning, with more knowledge, with more commitment, with more training than Mia Motley, who has been in public life now for the last 30 years, a member of parliament for the last 27 years, who has tried and proven as deputy prime minister of this country, who has been minister of major ministries, education, attorney general, economic affairs, who has proved herself in times of crisis when the Glenderry burnt down, and it didn't get on like if we burn it down, by every day speaking to you, letting you know what's going on, making you feel secure even though some criminals hardened were still on the loose. You felt secure going in bed in the night. Not like the prime minister right now, who doesn't speak to you, and when he does speak, speaks only to Democratic Labour Party forum, like if the rest of you don't matter. I look forward with hope administration that will do good by the people of this country, that will improve the quality of your lives. But we need your vote.